Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I would love to share with you what's blooming in my June garden. It's a beautiful day today. We have had different types of weather changes I'm sure everyone went through the heat wave as we did here in Western New York. We had a week of 90-degree temperatures. Lots of humidity, and now things are starting to cool down. The sun is just starting to come up. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. Yesterday was June 29th. Today is June 30th, and it rained all day yesterday, which was awful because there were so many graduations I know that were happening yesterday, and my niece had her birthday party yesterday, and everyone was planning to be outside, but we did spend the majority of the day inside. It did clear up after a while and we were able to go swimming, but it was such a rainy day yesterday. But it was much needed, I felt, for the garden after that hot weather week that we had, which was across the country in many different areas. Temperatures were in the 90s and above with high humidity. So this is what my front yard is looking like right now. I have my magic carpet spirea, which has bloomed out. I'm just going to give you a shot of the front of my house here, where I have two dwarf Alberta spruce flanking either side of this front window. And right below the window box, I have three Emerald Gaiety euonymus shrubs, and you can see the Emerald Gaiety is a variegated green and white leaf, and it has a trailing habit, so you can see that it's starting to trail upwards, and it will trail into that dwarf Alberta spruce and start to trail down and all the way to this stone ledge here sometimes. And you can see right over here the Emerald Gaiety euonymus. It's starting to trail up and into that dwarf Alberta spruce, if you can see that, which is really beautiful. And then it will also trail back up against that stone wall as well. Now I changed this window box out. Oh gosh, it had to be mid-April. It was in the springtime, thinking it would just be temporary because I just wanted something colorful in the window box before it was a little too early, obviously, to plant my summer annuals. And honestly, I've been so pleased with the pansies and the violas that I don't have the heart to take anything out just yet. It's been happy. I can see that it's been happier. It's starting to look a little dried out here and tired, but for the most part, the pansies and the violas have been in unison and so happy, with some vinca vines spilling down over the edge. And I planted a daylily in the center. It's got some burnt, unhappy foliage there, but for the most part has been very happy. This is the Raspberry Eclipse daylily, and it's not quite sunny yet, so I don't think the bloom has opened, or it hasn't showcased its bloom for the day yet, but If I can get around here, I'll show you what, I think this was yesterday's bloom. I can probably show you a better picture. Here's the tag here. The raspberry eclipse daylily. Oh, that's been gorgeous when it's been fully opened. Okay, here we are at my front porch steps here in my front door. And if you have seen my recent short, I posted a clip of my baby birds who are right at the top of that eucalyptus wreath on my front door. I had a robin nest right on the top of that wreath this year, and she laid 3 eggs and had 3 baby birds, and I've been watching their progress. They have been growing. It was amazing, from the eggs in the nest to hatching. There was 3 little baby birds that hatched with their eyes closed, looking so vulnerable, and I watched them day by day and week by week, and now there are 3 beautiful feathered little birds in there who are still being cared for by their mama and will be flying the nest soon. I'm not sure how long robin birds, baby birds, stay in their nest, but it's been honestly amazing to watch. And if you can hear, the mama is squawking behind me, so let's see if we can find her. Oh, she's right. I'm sorry, mama. I'm just gonna show my containers and then I'll be out of your way. Lemon coral sedum, which I love, from Proven Winners. It's such a bright, happy green color, and it fills out this pot, just one plant, beautifully, and will even spill over as it matures through the summertime. I love that. Just above that, I have one of the pots that I did this summer, my summer containers. This is a blue mohawk grass in the back. And then right on the left side here, I have the Calibrachoa Goodnight Kiss, this variety is called. Look at how beautiful. Oh, I love that deep color in the center with the yellow. And I have that paired with the Diamond Frost Euphorbia on the side here. And also a Goldilocks Lysimachia, the Creeping Jenny. Right above that is another basket that I put together, which I really love this one. It has so much vibrant color. So let's see, let me turn it here. It's kind of getting drowned out by the sweet lime potato vine there. Caroline Sweetheart potato vine. So right in the back as my thriller, I did the Rockin' Fuchsia Salvia hybrid from Proven Winners, which is gorgeous. You can see the bloom on that. The color is beautiful, and that'll get taller. I've also paired that with the Curly Whirly from Proven Winners, and that's like a corkscrew grass, and you can see how it's kind of spread itself kind of throughout, and it adds such a fun element to a container. And I have paired that with a petunia, which you can tell these need a little bit of water, but this is a petunia called Banana Cherry. Such a beautiful color. You can see the top of the leaf looks like a little heart. A little heart. And the banana colored center. And you can see this one has a little bit more cherry color and less yellow. Just has a couple of streaks of yellow there, which is kind of interesting. And then, like I said, just the Sweetheart Lime Sweet Caroline potato vine, which adds that vibrant chartreuse color. And sometimes this plant can, you know, be a little bit overwhelming in a container, so you just have to trim it as needed just to keep it in check, so everybody can have their time to shine in this container. And lastly, I have the Dichondra Silver Falls, which is such an elegant touch. Adds such an elegant touch to any container. It has a soft velvety leaf. If you feel the leaf, it's just, and it has like a little shine to it, and a velvety leaf, and it just spills out over the container in such an elegant and beautiful way. This is the way I've styled my shelf, my outdoor garden shelf that's on my front porch here. You hear that mama squawking at me? Oh, she's ready to come and get me. Here I just have 3 containers that have vinca vine and double impatiens. Let's see if we can take a closer look, and we might have to get off this front porch kind of quick here. Okay, so these are my double impatiens. I got these for $1. Let's see, these are the salmon colored double impatiens. And I did the same thing down here, just with a couple of vinca vines. And also down here as well. They've been blooming beautifully. You can see they're budded up and ready to open up today. And I have these two here with a salmon color. The salmon color double impatiens. And then this one down here is more of a yep, this is the hot pink double impatiens, and you can see the color up. Okay, we may have to move a little quickly here because she is really squawking at me. Usually I can hang out here for a little bit longer, but I think the mom and the dad who are both squawking at me wanting to feed their babies their breakfast. So this is a container that I did for my front porch here. Let me come from up top here so you can really see everything that's in this container. On the back side I have Empress Wu Hosta, and tucked right underneath there is a Creeping Jenny, and you can see there's a vinca vine. This is the Creeping Jenny, and this is the Empress Wu. I have a coleus here, 2 coleus. This coleus is called Freckles. This coleus is from the Proven Winners Color Blaze series. It's called Sedona Sunset. And right below that, I have some more banana cherry. And you can see this one is a little bit different. It's more yellow and less cherry on these leaves here. Still so very beautiful. And I have it rounded out with the Dichondra Silver Falls. And also another vinca vine. This one is more of a darker colored, a little bit of a variegation there, but a darker green colored leaf to that vinca vine. Okay, we're gonna leave these little birdies alone here. They want to feed their babies. So let's step down here. This is just the front, another shot of my front yard where I have Stella de Oro daylilies and some Junior Walker catmint. And just beyond the last Stella de Oro daylily, I have 2 more Golden Globe arborvitaes, Golden Globe cedar arborvitaes. I really enjoy the Junior Walker catmint, and so do the bumblebees. If you can see, there's a couple of bumblebees really enjoying this catmint this morning. I enjoy this catmint specifically because it's a little bit more compact than the Walker's Low, and just works better in my landscape for a smaller garden space. And I do trim this down right after it blooms. It's sort of, you can tell it's dropping some of its flowers here in my garden bed, so I will be cutting that back soon. And it pairs so lovely with the Stella de Oro daylily. I have several of these in my front and backyard, and they're such an easy, low maintenance perennial. Comes back every year, flowers every year. These have gotten very large, and I would like to divide them sometime soon and either give some away or spread them around my garden. And this is my celebration maple tree. I'll give you a shot of that tree first. It's growing so big. I go all the way to the top here. I don't even know. Oh my goodness. So tall. And this year I have underplanted my celebration maple tree with some sun patience and alternated that with lemon coral sedum. This is the compact deep rose sun patience, which I think this is my first time planting sun patience, so I'm hoping that it will do well and thrive under this tree. It will get some shade, but also plenty of sunshine. And I thought the lemon coral sedum just beyond there was the perfect contrast accent. I just loved how it paired up with the dark green leaf of the sun patience. I thought it was a really nice complement and contrast. And when this fills in, you know, I'm hoping that they will almost touch by the time the sun patience grows, and also the lemon coral sedum by the time everything kind of spreads out. I think it'll just be a nice little color combination here. Here we are on the south side, entrance to my backyard. And I'll show you what's blooming on this side of the house. This is blue cushion English lavender. That really has filled out this space nicely and is a nice complement to that huge garden rock I have behind it. The pollinators are loving it. I don't know if you can see that little bumblebee enjoying. If we can get a close-up on him. Right along the back there, I have little gold star rudbeckia just starting to open. I planted these last fall, so it'll be interesting to see how I like the bloom. Looks like it's going to be beautiful. And just behind that, I have a compact prairie rose coneflower echinacea. that I bought on clearance last fall. I think I paid maybe $4 for those. Let's see how they're looking. These are beautiful. I have 4 of the Emerald Gaiety euonymus lining this bed, and my trellis, which has my clematis that has been blooming. It probably is not at its peak of bloom time right now. It's kind of falling out of bloom a little bit, but there's still some beautiful blooms on it, and a few that have still yet to open. And there's also some spent blooms as well, which those have a really beautiful look to them, I think, also. This is Clematis Haldane. I did have that paired with General Sikorsky, but my General Sikorsky really did not come up this year. The Clematis Haldane is on the inner aspect of my trellis, and the General Sikorsky is on the outer aspect. And you can see it's down there, but it really didn't do anything this year, so I may have to replace that with a different variety of clematis at some point, because I really do like to have 2 of them, 2 different varieties growing. This is the entranceway into my backyard, and this is just a shot of our pergola arch that we put together and put up in the springtime. And as you can see, we put a new garden bed in as well. Let's take a walk into the back. You can see here that, well, first of all, we planted 2 Generous Gardener climbing roses at the base of each side of the pergola arch. Let's take a closer look and see how they're doing. It's because this is my very first climbing rose, and how beautiful that is. Those blooms are going to open up and just look gorgeous. This has a pale pink colored rose that kind of hangs a bit once it opens up. It's a beautiful, beautiful rose. But like I said, I really have to start researching roses, because I can see there's something eating it already that I'm going to have to deal with. And I have not started training it just yet, but I can feel how flexible and easy to move these canes are, so I know I'm going to have to start training it laterally or horizontally as best I can to go back and forth along the pergola arch, so that you can have blooms from the top to the bottom. That's the key with the climbing roses. You want to train them in a lateral or horizontal way so that you can have the most blooms. In this bed here, I have some more spirea, as well as some hixius lining the back. I have 2 Stella de Oro daylilies underneath here, and we trimmed this tree. This is a snow fountain weeping cherry tree. It's a gorgeous tree. In the summertime here, it is green in color. Very thick, dense canopy that will turn like a red-orange in the fall. And then in the springtime, it was also beautiful. It was a beautiful white flowering ornamental look to it. And I have my little angel tucked back in here, kind of a bright light underneath this shaded area. A gift from my Aunt Suzanne many years ago. And this is another container that I planted up. There's quite a few different things going on in this container. I have a Freckles coleus, and to the left of that, I believe that's just a red salvia. I got that free with purchase at a nursery just this past week. So I believe it's just a red salvia. And behind that coleus, I have there's another red salvia back there. But I also have a grass from the grasses that I divided from the front yard. So I believe that's part of a Shenandoah grass. And I've combined that with silver carpet lamb's ear. I bought one silver carpet lamb's ear perennial. I think it was $14, and I've divided it 2 or 3 times and added it to these containers, and I'll be planting it out in my landscape at the end of this season. And I also have some vinca vine here, the darker green vinca vine. I also have the Dichondra Silver Falls, and I think this is called begonia. You can see I have that. They were giving those away free too with a purchase at a local nursery as well. So, and they let me take as many as I wanted to. So I think I took like 6 of those Bada Bing begonia little starter plugs, and I planted those in the center of this container as well. And here is just a shot of the new garden bed that we put in the springtime, and we thought we would have gotten to planting it out with some evergreens and, you know, some perennials and shrubs, but we just haven't gotten there yet. And it started to fill in with some weeds, so we've been struggling kind of to just keep this weeded and clear until we can get to the planting. It's just been a busy time with our children ending school, and we've had travel baseball start for my one son, my son Everett. My other son Tyler just had his wisdom teeth out, and we have a whole bunch of family coming in from out of town this coming week, which is wonderful. So my attention has just been focused on other things, but that's life, and we all know it, so not a big deal. In fact, I feel blessed to have such a busy and full life with, you know, loving friends and family. Oh, look at that picture right there. It's just a beautiful picture with the birch tree. This is a Dura-Heat birch tree right next to me here, but with the branch hanging down. Just going to take a moment to appreciate that. And here's a closer look at the front of my shed with my window boxes that are similar to the window boxes that I planted up in my front yard. Let's take a closer look. I know I can give you a better look of the daylily. Again, here, look at the beauty of these pansies and violas. Actually, these are more violas you can see here, but oh my goodness. Now I'm going to come up onto this. This is the Raspberry Eclipse daylily. I mean, oh my goodness, guys. I have been so impressed with this bloom. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. and everything has just been in unison here, so I have not had the heart to change anything over. And I don't think I will until it starts to really fade out and look kind of awful, but I just really am enjoying these window baskets this year. Let me come around to the other side. I like this shot over here. I really have to be careful when I'm walking along the edge here because I did fall off the edge of that stone wall last fall. So I'm constantly popping up and down here to look at flowers and to plant things, and I really have to watch myself. You can see a better look of the pansy there. Those have kind of faded a little bit more in the background, and the violas have taken center stage. So beautiful. And I have another spirea here that is the neon flash spirea that is just starting to come out of its bloom, and you can see where it was sort of a neon pink color. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, and now it has, you can see it's starting to fade out. I want to say this blooms again. I can't really remember, but it's the neon flash spirea. And then just right below my neon flash spirea, I have my St. Michael the Archangel, which I think looks just beautiful. Tucked in here with a spirea just below the window box. Okay, we're going to walk around here. I have a feeling this garden tour is going to be a little long, so I'm trying to move it along a little bit quicker here, but we're just coming around. Oh, I just disturbed some birds here. I just noticed that the bird seed was low. I feel like I just filled this, but we will fill it up together here. This is another compact cone flower, a little white one that's starting to come up, and I just planted that last fall. This is the wildberry heuchera, which is just gorgeous. I love this plant, and I have really been falling in love with heuchera. I purchased a couple more for my garden that I'll show you, and I just think they're so fascinating. They come in all different colors, and they're a perennial. They have this beautiful twinkly flower that shoots up in the spring and summer, and they just add so much interest to your garden. So this is the Proven Winners wildberry heuchera. Love it. And we're moving right along to my endless summer bloomstruck hydrangea. Just looking beautiful. It's starting to bloom, and it's blooming pink. This is my other bloomstruck endless summer. And right next to that, I have a brand new heuchera, also called Coral Bells. And look at the color on this one. This is just beautiful. I love the leaf. It's such a beautiful leaf. And this is a Proven Winners. Let me get the tag here. This is Peachberry Ice Primo, 8 to 10 inches high. It's a perennial. What does it say? A beautiful option for adding orange to your shade garden. Large apricot orange leaves have a silver overlay, beautifully pronounced ruffling, and a bright pink underside. Leaves mellow in warmer months. Cream colored flowers. You can see the cream colored flowers at the top. Just gorgeous color. And the sun is starting to shine. Here I have another little basket that I put together here. This is just a purple watering can planter that I have part of the grasses that I divided from the front and removed from that front bed. I think this is part of a Shenandoah. And this little stump here is a red salvia. I'm just going to see if that grows up for me, and a dichondra silver falls. So this was sort of the last of what I had when I was putting together containers. So we'll see what it does for me this season. And I'm just going to swing over here. I have a couple of more containers nearby. I have, this is the hot pink double impatiens that you saw on my front porch, and that's combined with, I'm not quite sure what type of a grass. It could be a Shenandoah, could be that other type of grass that I was unsure of the variety, from the front garden bed where the Colorado spruce trees are. And I have it paired with a vinca vine. I kind of went nuts with the vinca vine this year, only because it was on sale and was so cheap. So I just picked up so many, and I put them everywhere in my garden, in my containers, in my pots, just everywhere. And then the beautiful elegant dichondra silver falls. So that is this container here, which the double impatiens is considered a shade loving plant. This does get some sun, so I'm sort of keeping an eye on it to see how it does, and if I need to move it, I will. And just beyond that, I have, this is another one of my hummingbird loving containers. Let's take a closer look. Looks like my creeping Jenny here got kind of tangled up. Let's fix you. Let's pull some of these long strands down so it can drape and do its thing here. And as you can see, I kept my tags. This was my hummingbird loving container. I started out in the back just with one of the plants that I love, is the Proven Winners purple fountain grass. And then I came in with golden, the yellow flower is the Proven Winners golden butterfly. You can see that's blooming up nicely. And I also have some lantana in there. That is the luscious Royal Cosmo lantana. You can see it's kind of spread itself over a little bit. I also have the vermillionaire, which that's the plant that's really supposed to attract those hummingbirds because it has the tubular flower. If I can hold it still, you can see that tubular flower. Let's see if the camera will focus a little bit better over here. This is the tubular flower that the hummingbirds like to stick their beaks into to feed. I also have some osteospermum back in there. And that is the Zion Orange Burst osteospermum. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer look at that. You can see that flower there. And I also have a Nemesia. It's an orange Nemesia from Proven Winners as well. This is a bowling ball arborvitae. Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae, that's grown quite a bit. Beautiful green color. Adds some structure to the garden. And backdropped by the Ivory Halo Red Twig Dogwoods. There's 3 of them that are looking much better this year. Starting to fill out and grow. And just below here I planted just a line of ageratum, blue ageratum from Proven Winners. I'll put the variety tag name up. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they are beautiful. They add such a pop of beautiful color and they look great from a distance. And I wish I had more actually. I bought these 5 and just put them in the front here. You can hear the water from my pool spillway. It has a timer on it and it goes off, and it's just part of the cleaning process, so you can hear the water sound from the hot tub spillway, which is kind of nice. And we're just coming up on another pot that I put together. There's a few pots on this back ledge here by the pool. And I did this one in a recent video as well. This was a container for full sun. And I just have the Proven Winners Baby Tut in the back there. It has, it's like a, I think they call it an umbrella plant. And there's a few different sizes of the tuts. There's King Tut, Prince Tut, Baby Tut. I don't even know if there's a Queen Tut, but all different sizes of this little umbrella grass-like plant that I've put in the back there. I also have a coleus, a beautiful coleus called Ruby Slippers, or Ruby Slipper. Let me show you the color of that leaf. It does have some yellow or green chartreusey kind of look, but mainly red. I paired that with the Proven Winners Nemesia, A Romance Mulberry. I usually go for, it looks more like a lilac color, but I usually go with the A Romance Pink in years past, but I really do like this mulberry color. It's a little deeper and it has the yellow center. It has two different shades of purple and or blue that I think are beautiful. And it plays off of the Dichondra Silver Falls beautifully. And as you may have noticed, I've used Dichondra Silver Falls a lot this year. I used it for the very first time last year and just loved it. I just think it's such an elegant touch to any container, just absolutely beautiful. And how you want to make sure you give it room to drape down. See how it has room to keep growing, and it'll reach all the way down to the ground. But you could always trim it up to your liking as well. And right next to that, I have Proven Winners Graceful Grasses Vertigo. And I believe this grass gets pretty tall. I think I have a tag in there. Let me take a look and see. Let's see. Yeah, this gets 45 to 96 inches tall. The Graceful Grasses Vertigo. So that'll be a beautiful, beautiful statement right on the ledge here as well. This is the Summerific Hardy Hibiscus, very awesome. I just planted this last fall, so I'm really excited to see this come up and bloom for me. It'll have a beautiful pink hibiscus bloom. And this is a type of miscanthus grass. I have 3 of them. I did leave them up. I didn't cut them down last fall. I usually cut down my ornamental grasses in the fall, but I left these up, and oh my goodness, the way the snow rested on the reeds was absolutely beautiful. Here's another pot that I did. And this one has the Silver Carpet Lamb's Ear. So soft and beautiful. And I paired that with the Bada Bing mix of the begonias. Those are the ones I got for free as well, along with a red salvia. This one is a little bit more, looking a little bit more grown. And also some vinca vine. I also have the Summerific Perfect Storm Hardy Hibiscus that I planted this last fall as well, so I'm excited to see the Perfect Storm bloom as well. And here I have another pot similar to the pots on the other side, Graceful Grasses Vertigo, and the same combination on this side that I just showed you on the other side with the Ruby Slippers Coleus and the Baby Tut the baby tut grass and the Aromance mulberry nemesia and the Dichondra silver falls. Emerald green arborvitaes, autumn joy sedum, starting to bloom. They start with a green bloom and then they turn to like a burgundy pinkish type color. And the sun is starting to shine a little bit more. I'm just going to be finishing out the garden tour. These are my river birches on the other side, my Durahit river birch. Which I have underplanted with a Hamlin grass. Okay, I'm just going to come around to the last section of my garden. We're just along the back patio where I have my limelight hydrangea that's starting to bloom. Gave that a hardy trim in the fall. This is another pot that I put together on the corner of my patio, and I love the thriller in this container is some of the morning light miscanthus that I separated and divided from the front garden bed. So I really have loved just sticking those parts of those grasses in my pots this year. And it's the Proven Winners, I think it's the Sedona coleus. It was the same coleus that I had in the front. I'll be sure to put the name up if I have that name wrong. With a vinca vine. Looks like a variegated darker color vinca vine. And the Bada Boom mix of begonia, as well as the red salvia. And like I said, those begonia and salvia, those are the ones I got for free this week. And the vinca vine was $1. The morning light miscanthus was free from my front yard from separating those grasses, and I did pay for the coleus. That was around, I think that was about $6.50 maybe. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, those were buy one get one free, so I got 2 of those for one price. This is another pot that I did on my patio table. This is a red geranium that I received from my niece Emily. So it's the red geranium from my niece Emily, and that's combined with the Diamond Frost Euphorbia from Proven Winners. And I couldn't think of the name of this trailer the other day when I was putting together the shade pot underneath my patio, and one of you subscribers kindly reminded me it's an asparagus fern, and so that is also, it's a trailer, but it also lifts up and has a vertical, a little bit of a vertical growth to it as well. So I thought that looked beautiful in this pot for my patio table. I also just wanted to give you an update on our elevated garden bed that we purchased and put together from Gardener's Supply. It's the 2 by 8 foot cedar elevated garden bed, and we did purchase the trellis arch that goes over the top that was sold separately, and we did stain it as well. It came just a regular cedar wood color, and we did stain that. And I'm going to show you what we have planted up in this garden bed. I did all zinnias, so these first 4 rows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the zinnia Persian carpet, and I'll put a little picture of what the Persian carpet's looking like. I got a little bit of a late start with these zinnias, but I'm excited. I am learning about how to grow cut flowers, so this is just a learning year for me, probably the next several years. And I didn't get to all the cut flowers I wanted to plant this year, but I'm okay with just learning about zinnias. In the center here, this row here, you can see some of these did not germinate. A couple in the center here, and then this row here, I have those as the zinnia green envy, and these are just more vinca vines that I just had. I popped them into the corners here and into the center here just for some added visual interest. And on the end here, I have the zinnia cut and come again, these last 3 rows, and they did germinate pretty well. I may have to go in and separate some because I really wasn't paying attention too much to the spacing. So you can see, like here, these are a little bit bunched up, so as they grow and mature, I may have to separate them out so they have, you know, adequate room to grow and look lovely for me. On the end here, I have some organic basil that I planted in the corner. I just found the tag for this sweet Italian organic grown basil. It smells so good. And then I also picked up this tomato plant. So this was just speaking to me. Look at those beautiful tomatoes. This variety is called Husky Red. Let's look. Husky Red tomato, dwarf variety. They're an indeterminate. Red root, dark green foliage, matures in 70 days. Plant in full sun, which it is. So we'll see what happens with this Husky Red tomato, but they're off to a good start. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 good sized ones on this plant. So I'm going to leave it right here for right now, and if I have to move it at some point, I will. And we're just almost through here. I have 2 pots on the back side of my patio that I planted up with. There in the center is a variety of clematis. It's a white blooming clematis that it was an early blooming clematis, and I think it is going to bloom again. You see I do have some dead growth in there that I need to remove, but I underplanted it with Supertunia Vista Jazzberry, which is, I believe, the annual of the year for 2024. And I also put another yellow petunia in there. I don't believe it was not a proven winners, but I just love the color of this yellow. I thought that was very beautiful. I don't think it came with a tag that had a name on it. If I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen. And then I just stuck a little viola back in there that I had extra. My neighbor Claire, a little girl that lives next door, had given that to me. So I'm hoping those kind of fill out and do good in the center of that, in that container there. We're just gonna move around to this final garden bed. This is where I have my hummingbird feeder, which I'm still waiting on those hummingbirds. If anyone has any advice, I I have not seen any in my Western New York Zone 6B area. But I have my hummingbird feeder. I've been changing out that sugar water nectar at least once a week, if not more. And this is the hummingbird container that I planted up on video. I did add a couple of those daisy looking plants to it because I felt like it needed a little something more. But again, this is the purple fountain grass in the back. I have the, let's see, the purple fountain grass. I also have the Luscious Royal Cosmo Lantana, and that's, you can see the pink and the peachy orange color on those. I have the Vermillionaire, which is the tubular flower there. And what else do I have? So this is called Proven Winners Pure White Butterfly. This flower here. I got those for $1 as well. They were on sale. And then this is the Nemesia. Let's see, this is the Sensatia or Blood Orange Nemesia that I have right here. I think that's all that I have in this container. And then just the Vinca vines, rounding it out with the Vinca vines. So come on, hummingbirds, come to my garden. And this is the last container that I'll show you on my back patio that I planted up specifically for shade. So here I have the Carnival Orange Yellow Begonia. It's a Riger Begonia, and that color is just amazing. This is a shade-loving plant. And the Asparagus Fern. And this is a Wedding Train Coleus. This is right here, the Wedding Train Coleus. And I just really love this combination. I think it turned out really pretty. And I have one on either side of my patio sliding door there. There's the other one over there. Are you enjoying the sunshine? Oh, you have some bedhead going on. You've got some bedhead. Hey you. Hey you.